Audiobook presents an unabridged recording of Deception, Pakistan, the West, and the Global Nuclear Weapons Conspiracy by Adrian Levy and Catherine Scott Clark, narrated by Richard Poe, and directed by Rob Granis. This book is copyrighted 2007 by Adrian Levy and Catherine Scott Clark. This recording is copyrighted 2007 by Recorded Books. On December 15, 1975, A.K. Khan, a young Pakistani scientist working in Holland, stole top-secret blueprints for a revolutionary new process to arm a nuclear bomb. His original intention, and that of his government, was purely patriotic: to provide Pakistan a counter to India's recently unveiled nuclear device. However, as Adrian Levy and Catherine Scott Clark chillingly relate in their masterful investigation of Khan's career over the past 30 years, over time, that limited ambition mushroomed into the world's largest clandestine network engaged in selling nuclear secrets. And now, Deception.
Introduction. The Core. This is the story of how our elected representatives have conjured a grand deception, the terrible consequences of which may not become clear for decades to come. It is a chronicle of moral lapses, abysmal judgments, failures of oversight, careless and frequently lazy analyses of the changing world around us, which have served to further destabilize it and to empower those bent on global jihad. The deception was first glimpsed in 2004, when the government of Pakistan announced that its most revered scientist, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, was to make a confession live on Pakistan TV. Dr. Khan, a figure normally cloaked in intrigue, having been associated with Pakistan's covert nuclear program for 3 decades, appeared on February 4th, speaking in English for the benefit of the wider world, rather than in Urdu for a home audience that would normally cling to his every word. "My dear brothers and sisters," Khan began, before admitting to what he described as unauthorized proliferation activities. Khan signed off, "May Allah keep Pakistan safe and secure. Long live Pakistan." To ensure that what he had done was fully understood in the West, the Pakistan military conducted explanatory briefings, in which Khan was said to have run, pretty much on his own, a black market in nuclear weapons technology for client states that President George W. Bush had identified as the axis of evil: Iran, Libya, and North Korea. The ramifications were appalling. There was heated conjecture around the world about why Khan, caricatured as the typhoid Mary of nuclear proliferation, had done it. Out of political and religious conviction, or for self-aggrandizement? Editorials speculated for whom Khan had done it: the rogue regimes themselves, jihadis in Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden, or perhaps terrorist cells hoping to let off a nuclear device in Europe or America. President George W. Bush subscribed to the deceit, announcing several days later, "Khan has confessed his crimes and his top associates are out of business." Khan and a small band were guilty of shocking offenses, but there was no need to put them on trial. Bush explained, "President Musharraf has promised to share all the information he learns about the Khan network, and has assured us that his country will never again be a source of proliferation." Pakistan was so on top of the situation that there would be no need to extradite the scientists to the West. In reality, Khan's confession was a ruse. It takes more than one person to make a mess of this proportion. Khan was the fall guy, and his performance papered over the true nature of what many now believe was the nuclear crime of all our lifetimes, and undoubtedly the source of our future wars. The nuclear bazaar Khan claimed to have orchestrated certainly existed, but where the public and private stories diverged was that the covert trade in doomsday technology was not the work of one man, but the foreign policy of a nation, plotted and supervised by Pakistan's ruling military clique, supposedly a key ally in America's war on terror. The true scandal was how the trade and the Pakistan military's role in it had been discovered by high-ranking U.S. and European officials many years before. But rather than interdict it, they had worked hard to cover it up. For 3 decades, consecutive U.S. administrations, Republican and Democrat, as well as the governments in Britain and other European countries, had allowed Pakistan to acquire highly restricted nuclear technology. In a disastrous epoch, key state assets were then misdirected and countermanded in order to disguise how Pakistan had sold it on. Intelligence gathering in the U.S. was blunted, while federal agencies, including the Departments of State and Defense, were corralled into backing the White House agenda and forced to sidestep Congress and break federal laws. Officials who tried to stop the
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.